So here is a diversity prompt. Your definition of diversity and the role it has played in your own learning and development. Diversity is a very hard argument to really tackle because we instantly think about diversity in terms of racial classifications, but we could also think about it in terms of gender classifications. There could also be cognitive diversity, how you learn versus another way another person learns, the way you learn in one course versus another way you learn in another course. But your definition of diversity is very subjective here. And I don't think you should be penalized because you don't always think about it in terms of racial classifications. You may want to get some advice on how to look at this in terms of your definition of diversity. Regardless, you need to be able to convey what your definition is and the role it has played in your own learning and development. So autobiography, tell us about yourself, where you have been, where you feel you are going. Remember when I said that most of the writing prompts sort of have the same focus in terms of yourself, where you have been, where you feel you are going. And this means you have to know yourself, know who you are as an individual, not always know yourself in terms of how people treat you, but who you are as an individual. Are you a runner? Are you an emotional runner? And then if you are, how many times have you ran and how have you resolved this problem? If you are a writer, are you actually writing? And how many times have you written and what genres are you writing? And where do you feel you are going? Do you feel you are going into the scholarly context? Do you feel you are going into the creative writing context? Do you want to write scripts for film? Do you want to write novels, fiction or nonfiction, right? Telling us about yourself requires you knowing yourself and where you have been and where you feel you are going, because by the time you apply to these institutions with a personal statement, you are 18, 19, 20, maybe 21 years old. So you have some lived experiences. You have gone through something in your life, whether it was positive or negative. So the autobiography still has a structure of its own. And here's your freshman applicant. So just in case you are a student who is a freshman and you are wondering about whether or not on how you should create a personal statement. So describe the world you come from, for example, your family, community, or school, and tell us how your world has shaped your dreams and aspirations. The very first thing you got to look at when you look at this prompt is dreams and aspirations. It's not immediately tell us the world you come from. You have to center everything else prior to dreams and aspirations on dreams and aspirations. So your dream is to become a teacher. Your dream is to become a doctor. Your aspiration is to do a certain thing in the field, right? Solve heart problems, solve, diabetes problems or something like that. Now, once you tell us what that is, then you can describe the world you come from. So, for example, my aunt, if you wanted to solve a diabetes problem and you look at it from your aunt being or having diabetes and struggling with it and ended up with an amputated leg or something like that, that's the world you come from. Now, how has that impacted you, or how has that had an impact on you? You have to go to her house after school and rub her leg, or help to bathe her, or help to do something to help her in her own world. And so that's the way that you can describe the world you come from. And the world is not just your mother and father, it's all of your siblings, it's all of your aunts and uncles, your whole community, your whole family, your whole school. And then how has it shaped your dreams and aspirations in terms of that one time that I helped her to get out of the bed because she couldn't, and she almost failed, really gave me insight into the struggle people have when they have diabetes. And I had to sort of solve the problem temporarily by putting a step ladder, or by just softening her fall, or something like that. It depends on what you were doing to help her how to resolve the problem. I maybe created some sort of contraption so that I could um, put her in it and then haul her out of the bed, and then that way she wouldn't fall. And then of course, if I wasn't there, she could do that too, to go use the restroom or get something out of the kitchen or something. So it's you thinking about that dream and aspiration, and then the world that you come from, that particular example that has shaped your understanding. And you can use that kind of prompt also in just a regular transfer applicant prompt as well. So all applicants tell us about a personal quality, talent, accomplishment, contribution, or experience that is important to you. What about this quality or accomplishment makes you proud, and how does it relate to the person you are? So again, you need to know what your personal quality, talent, accomplishment, contribution, or experience. Most importantly, you need to know your gifts and talents. If you um, if you teach, or if you write, or if you uh, perform athletics, or whatever it is that you think you do well, or accomplishment, you did well every year for the spelling bee competition. Um, you do a number of things well. You're very quick in how you compute math or something like that. You play an instrument. Um, you have been a strong competitor in something. Whatever it is, tell the admissions crew, I mean the admissions staff committee, what that personal quality, talent, or accomplishment is, what kind of contribution, and what about it makes you proud, meaning that there were times you wanted to quit, but you found something within yourself to stay the course, and then you got over that, you kept going, got over that hump, crossed the finish line, right? And that makes you proud that you can, when you are faced with trials and tribulations and distractions, that something on the inside of you will pull at you and push you forward, and it is you using you to help you push yourself forward. So that makes you proud. And then of course that tells the admissions committee, the type of person you are, that you are not a runner, and that even if you ran initially from the problem, you reassessed your contribution and said, no, I got to finish this. So this tells the admissions people what type of person you are. So tell us about a personal quality, talent, accomplishment, contribution, experience that is important to you. What about it makes you proud, and then how does it relate to the person you are? So topic of your choice, no explicit content. So you may get a prompt, a writing prompt that requires you, that doesn't necessarily give you, definable characteristics of the prompt. But even with no explicit content, the admissions committee is still looking for structure. It is still looking for your ability to convey what it is you want, what your major is, why is it important to you, what contributions have you made, what have you learned, right? So you get to choose the topic, but you still have to present a very controlled, structured, organized way of conveying your academic experiences.